All right, go ahead and start. I'm putting off summer for like one more minute, right? How's everybody? Okay. It feels weird to be in here, right? Who misses summer already? Anybody? A little bit, right? My kids still have till Thursday. It's not fair, right? But everyone in abnormal psych, right? I'm Elisa. I feel so awkward this semester. So I've had like the worst week. I was at the beach on Saturday with my kids, who you'll see pictures of shortly. And I don't know how it happened. I was boogie boarding and I had like a freak accident. I tore my MCL, ACL, and meniscus all at once. It literally took like 2 seconds to do. I had to be dragged out of the water by lifeguards, they were like really cute young guys, which does nothing for me, but that's okay, right? My daughters were like, oh my gosh, they were mortified. And so I eventually have to have surgery. I'm hobbling around. I can't wear pants, which feels so unprofessional. It's like the weirdest start to the semester ever for me. So I felt like I would feel better if I just got all that out. So now I can move on. But besides all of that, so forgive me for hobbling around. It's supposed to get better before I start over and have surgery sometime in September. So hopefully we will get through it together. But other than that, we'll do all the kind of usual stuff today. Tell you a little bit about myself. We'll go over the syllabus so you know what to expect for the class. We'll do a little getting to know you activity. It's never too early to have some candy. So we'll compete for some candy at like 8:50, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll go over the textbook, the website. I have a little homework assignment just to help me get to know all of you. I'll take attendance and then we'll be done. So that's kind of our plan, pretty typical, probably first day. And I always like to start by telling you a little bit about myself, just so you know who's standing in front of you. You're going to be staring at me for 18 weeks. So I hope I get to know all of you a little bit, but I'd like to tell you a little bit about me too. Uh, I started at a community college. This was actually my favorite psychology class ever. I took intro psych and I hated it. I went in, I was like, I'm going to be a psych major, took intro psych. It was so boring. It was at 8 in the morning. The guy put me to sleep every time. I was like, I'll give one more class a shot. It was this one. And this is the class that made me fall in love with psychology. So I love abnormal psych. Hopefully it's exciting for you too. But I went to Maricosta College way down San Diego. And then one day I saw a picture for Humboldt State. I went there for the trees. I feel like my tattoo could be proof of that, right? Everyone always, it has a reputation for other greenery. I went there for the trees. But I got my master's in counseling psych. I'm actually trained as a therapist. I did that for a couple of years before transitioning to teaching. I have a minor in multicultural studies, queer studies, gender studies, and a kind of a bunch of like side little things like that, but mostly related to this class, to counseling and therapy and so on. So I've been teaching now for almost 20 years. I taught a little bit up in Humboldt, and then I moved to Colorado for a year, the one that looks nothing like the other three, right? I lived there for 1 year and then ran back to California. And I've been here at Moore Park College. This is my 16th year. I'm full-time and tenured. I have an office downstairs. It's the one with all the football stuff in the window. So I feel very lucky to be here. Maybe a little more fun and exciting. This is like the slide of me, if I had to sum myself up in a slide. I'm a huge fan of the outdoors. I love to camp, mainly because of s'mores, right? I love food. You'll learn this about me very quickly. I talk about food way too often. I'm sorry about that. But I love s'mores. I only had 2 s'mores this summer. That's really sad. That's like a personal low. So I might need to do a little bit more before we get out of August. I'm a big football fan. Any other football fans in here? Yeah? Do you have teams or? Patriots. Okay. Yeah, I get you. Patriots were my team because of Brady, and then he left, and then we had them, and then I don't even know now, right? Yeah. Nice, nice. Anyone else? Football fans? Yeah. Nice. Anybody else? Try not to talk about football too much, but it's coming. I play in a lot of fantasy football leagues. I run one here on the college. Came in like 8th last year, which is shameful. So again, I have some work to do this August. But big fan of football. Love baseball as well. Escape rooms are like my favorite thing in the world. I've done 105 of them. I love them so much, right? I've even dragged my children into them. They like them now too. But they're so much fun. It's like psychology in action, and sometimes they're scary. I love them so much. Anyone else escape rooms? Yeah, they're great, right? I haven't done one in a while. I'm ready. I don't know if I can do one right now, but if I have to crawl through anything, I'd fail, but that's okay. I love movies. I play the guitar. Cruises are like my favorite thing in life. I bet you can guess why. The food, maybe, right? There's so much food on a cruise ship. It's like, how many pounds can I gain in 1 week, right? That's my personal goal. I coach a lot of teams. I coach softball and soccer for my kids. I love Halloween. I'm already decorated for Halloween at home. Happy back to school Halloween, right? We're ready. We decorated this weekend, so we're set to go. I put some of my favorite shows up here. I love Naked and Afraid. It's like one of my favorite shows. I like watching poor people be hungry and naked out in the like middle of nowhere. And then I like to watch people eat on like Top Chef and Tournament of Champions, right? So a couple of shows that I love. I love horror movies, right? Anything scary. And then I put cake and coffee. Somebody told me years ago that I needed those two things on there. Cake and coffee, those round me out. So this is a little bit about me, probably all that more than you need to know, but I think it's nice to know who's standing in front of you. One more big thing, I have 9 children. 9. Wait, I forgot about my partner, right? Sorry. Before I get to my kids, I'm married. My beautiful wife, we've been married for 22 years. We just celebrated our 22-year anniversary, which is very exciting. Thank you. We went out and got cake. I bought a cake. Anyway. I'm so thoughtful, I know. But 9 children, here are 5 of them, or 6 of them, right? Can you imagine 9 children? I'd have no hair, none. So here are 6 of them. My one dog, Oso, she was a little fluffy bear when we got her. Now she's massive. My cat, Rolly, so fat. He's a 2-hander. I can't pick him up right now because I only have 1 hand. But Rolly, Noodle, our youngest. Binks, we got him right around Halloween. So Binks from like Hocus Pocus. Whiskey, or Whiskers, Tennessee. This is his full name. And then Squash, or Squash Carrots. Her middle name is Carrots, right? But here are 6 of my 9. And then I do have some 2-legged children. This is my oldest. She just turned 13. I have 3 teenage or pre-teenage girls at home. I'm happy to be here today. Very happy. They start on Thursday, all in middle school. So this is Kaya, my oldest, super sweet, super helpful kid. And then I have twins that are 11. This is Emma, my reason for not sleeping in life. No, she's so sweet. But this is Emma. She's very in like her goth era right now. And then her twin sister, Paisley, who is the one responsible, though I would never tell her for my knee. But that's okay. We were boogie boarding together and it just went poorly. But those are my 3 kids. Won't talk about them probably too much ever again. They might come in and visit once. Sometimes they do that. But I wanted to share them with you because they're a huge part of my life, obviously. I was going to ask if you have any questions, but that could be weird. I don't know. Anything else? Somebody last year was like, what's your favorite color? Brown, just in case you needed to know. Other than that, let's talk about the class. So I'm going to hand these out. Forgive me, I'm slow. But and my 5th grade teacher told me that she gave me a U in paper passing. Like, right? I will never forget that. It's so funny. Stay with me forever. So here's a copy of the syllabus. I think I'm okay. Thank you. I might take you up on it another day. You do? Is that a black cat? No, it's actually a cat. Well, I want to see a picture of it. I love my cat so much. So they fight with each other a lot. Like my children. Okay. I'm gonna go over. Almost there. I'm gonna get it. There's yes. Almost like zag. Great. Thank you. Everyone have one? Okay. So I'm not going to go over every painful detail of this, but I obviously want to make sure you know what to expect. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And hold on to this. Obviously, it has our schedule, has everything hopefully that you need to know. So it has the name of the class. My name is Elisa Setmire. My first name, not the easiest. A lot of people just call me Setmire, right? You can call me Professor Setmire, Dr. Setmire's a lie, but I'll smile at you, right, if you say it. I don't have a doctorate. But most people call me Setmire, Professor Setmire. You're welcome to brave my first name if you would like to. That's totally fine with me. I have an office. It's straight downstairs, so it's right underneath us. I have some office hours on there, but you can always make an appointment at a different time to meet with me. I do have a class right after this, but then I have a gap after that. My email and phone number, one is way better than the other. Yeah, I check my email all the time. I'm really good at email. My phone is in my office, so I don't always get those messages for a little bit. So always email me if you have something you need. I'll try and get back to you pretty quickly. I try to be pretty good about that. There's a little introduction to myself. I already told you lots about me, so we'll skip that. And I reminded you again about email and my name and so on. There's the contact information for the dean, the department chair, the division office, and then a little description of the class. And my picture of me with 9 churros. I didn't eat all 9 of them, I promise, right? There were 9, it was one for everybody, I swear. Okay. Next page, if you want to flip to the next page here. There's some objectives, things that we're going to cover, things that we're going to go over. I'll let you look at that on your own. But let's talk a little bit about the textbook. Anybody buy the book already? Get the textbook already? A couple of people. It's okay if you didn't, but that's fantastic. So they made a new edition of this book, the 11th edition. I don't feel like it was imperative to upgrade, and textbooks are so expensive. I was trying to keep it more affordable for you. So I'm using the 10th edition, which looks like that, or like this. I have the QR code in the syllabus. It'll take you right to the publisher's website. Obviously, do a little research, right? I bet you can get it somewhere cheaper than them, but I gave you their website. It's probably the easiest. A couple of you bought it. Which one did you get? Where did you get? Do you mind? Yeah? Oh, okay, great. Do you mind me asking how much it was? Do you remember roughly? That's amazing. Okay, so the brand new version of this, the 11th edition, is $312. Okay, so that's why I picked the older one. Just trying to save you a little bit of money. 20 bucks. Okay, a couple other people bought it. Anybody else? Yeah. Nice. Okay, great. You as well? Yeah. Okay, that's still not bad for a textbook in psychology. Books are expensive. My point is do a little bit of research before you get one of them. But this is the book I'm using. I would also be fine with you using the one before it. Okay, so stuff won't line up perfectly, but you could probably get that one even cheaper and it would work. Ideally, get a copy of the book. You're going to be reading the chapters. I'm not going to cover everything, so the book is important. And I would say maybe 10% of stuff that's on the exam will be in the book and stuff that we didn't cover. So definitely get a copy of the book as soon as you can. The bookstore should have this one, but do a little research. You have options for how you get it and where you get it and how much you pay for it. There's also an optional text that I put here. So I wrote a book last year on self-care. And there's going to be an extra credit opportunity later in the semester related to this if you wanted to do it. So I'll leave that up. There's a QR code, or you can find it on our website on Canvas, which I'll show you later. Other things you might need, Canvas, right? Having the Canvas and Kahoot apps, if you have your phone with you or a computer or tablet or whatnot, we'll definitely use those things. So if you can download them, that would be great. And then it might be nice to have access to, a computer and internet and all of that as well. Any questions about any of that so far? I'll talk the most in one spree today than I ever will again, but it's the first day, so feeling good so far? Okay. So some policies, codes of conduct stuff, just going through. Being here is important to me. Okay? I would love to have you here as much as you can be. Please try and make it. One, I just love having you here, but two, you don't want to miss materials. So try and be here as much as you can. Try and be on top of the assignments. I'm pretty strict about things not being turned in late. Okay, so I expect things when they're due to be turned in. There's a couple of exceptions, which we'll talk about when we get closer to them. But what will happen is typically we'll have an exam. You'll take all of your exams on Canvas. So on that day, you'll take it online. Started doing that during COVID, and it just felt silly to go back. I think it gives you more flexibility. You can use your notes and your book, so it's less stress for all of you. I think it's kind of a win-win. So those days, for example, if you miss it, you miss it. So just try and be really aware of deadlines. That's important to me. Please don't copy or cheat. I know that like ChatGPT and AI are so easy to do. Please try and do all of your own like unique creative work. There's some stuff about smoking and Title IX, some campus policies that had to be included. I'll let you look those over. If you want to go to the next page, halfway, more than halfway. I really want this to be a safe, like inclusive environment. I'm gonna make you talk once today, just to give you a heads up. My daughter, Kaya, the oldest, has like the most intense social anxiety. So I'm always like, there's a chance you're gonna have to speak. I'm just warning you ahead of time. But I really want this to be a place where you all feel comfortable sharing. Please don't let my voice be the only one that you hear. Like I guarantee you all know people who you either know or suspect have mental illnesses. I want to hear your stories, your questions, your thoughts. So let's just try and be respectful and mindful of each other at all times. Part of that for me, it's really hard to talk over people and it gets really distracting. So when I'm talking or a peer is talking, try and give them or me that respect and be quiet. Try and be here on time as best you can. I know it's early, right? You can bring your coffee, right? But try and be here on time and plan to stay the whole time. If you need to leave early, maybe let me know so I don't think I like deeply offended you as you walk out. Uh, Cell phones, obviously you have them, I have mine. I don't mind if you have them out. I don't mind if you use them. Just make sure they're silent, right? And obviously, the more you're using it, the less you're listening. So just try and keep it to a minimum. But there will be times where we even use them for like games, like Kahoot reviews and things like that. Next class, we'll do that. Okay, so I don't mind if you have them or out or on. As far as your grade goes, it's made up of one, two, where'd it go? Oops, I'm hitting buttons now. One, two, three things. Okay, so the first is attendance and participation. You'll do 10 random 10-point assignments in here. So one of them will be the little homework I give you today. They might be like a group activity, or we watch a film and you fill out a worksheet. It's going to be like a variety of things that you'll turn in. If you miss that day, you probably missed that assignment. Okay, unless it's a homework, in which case you could get that from somebody else. You could email me and I could send it to you. So if you miss, just be in contact with me or a classmate, and hopefully that will help you a little bit. You'll take 3 exams. As I mentioned, they'll all be on Canvas. They'll be open note, open book. You'll have a study guide. They're probably too easy, if anything. I know too many people who have test anxiety, so I'm very sensitive to that. So I hope that's something that's not too daunting for all of you. And then finally, you'll write a paper. If you go to the second to last page here, you'll write a paper that's broken into 3 parts. Right, so you're going to be picking a movie or TV character, or even a video game character. I've had some people do that. And you'll be diagnosing and writing a paper about that. Right, so you can start thinking about who might interest you. It could be literally anyone. We'll talk about that in the coming weeks, but that's kind of the last big graded thing that you'll do. You can see the distribution for your grades. Everything's just based off of points. And then if you have a memo with access, if any of you have an access memo, make sure you get that to me soon. I can get you set up for whatever accommodations you might need. I can ask for a note taker if we need one, and get you extra time if you need it for your exams. Couple more things. Taking notes. I would definitely recommend taking notes as we go. I'll say more about that on Wednesday. So Wednesday, we'll talk about taking notes and we'll fill in that little graph that's right there. There's student tech information there, some college information, a bunch of different links. If you're opening this on Canvas, you can click on them and they'll all work for you. And then finally, the last page is just our schedule. And I'm pretty good at sticking to the schedule. We might get a little ahead or behind, but the days that are in bold, like the exam days, shouldn't change. The only exception is I'm supposed to have surgery sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So I will probably miss a week when we get closer. When I know when that is, I'll let you know and we'll plan for it. But I don't know yet. It's supposed to be like mid to end of September. Apparently my knee is too thrashed to do anything to it right now. So I get to heal and then start over. I'm not bitter about that. So you can see all the days that we don't have class, that we have flex days or holidays. We have a couple of speakers that are going to come in, mainly about like QPR, which is suicide prevention training. You can see when our exams are and so on, and our last day at the end. Okay. All right. I think that is everything on here. Are there any questions for now? Anything for now about the syllabus? Anything else? Okay, I highlighted this a little bit in here, but I kind of kept this one thing from COVID, right? Like if you're really sick, stay home. Okay, like if you're not feeling well, like a little sick, that's probably okay. But if you're super sick, stay home. I record all of our lectures. Okay, so everything will be recorded via Zoom. So if you miss a class, you can watch the lecture on Canvas so you can get caught up, which I think is really nice. As long as technology cooperates, sometimes the internet goes out or whatever and it doesn't work, but usually it's fine. Consider reaching out to a classmate for notes if you ever miss, or emailing me. And then I'll talk about this more later, but if there was a homework assignment, you can always email it to me if you were going to miss the day it was due. Okay, so just something to keep in mind as we get into the semester. Like we're all going to get sick at some point, right? But if you're super sick, please stay. Okay. All right. So I've been talking forever. I'm gonna have you talk for a minute. I always feel so mean. I'm like, I feel like I should apologize. Like, I'm really sorry. So here's my plan. Here's what I want to do. You don't have to get up. You're just gonna stay in your seats where it's safe, right? But I'm gonna have you share a couple of things, three things. Okay? Your name, your major, if you have one, and I won't hold you to it. You can always change it. And then something interesting about yourself. Maybe like your favorite food, your favorite restaurant, food things. It can be anything, like your favorite thing to do, or your favorite food or restaurant. Go back to that. But three things. And my hope with this is to show you that if you can do it once, you can do it again, right? Like if you can talk today, you can talk again. And I want to hear your voice. So I'm going to start over here in a minute. Give you a heads up. But again, you don't have to get up, just your name, your major if you have one, and then something interesting, something you love to do, or somewhere you love to eat, whatever seems easy. Okay, and we'll just weave our way through and we'll move on. I'm gonna start with you. Okay. My name's Jordan. I'm major of psychology majors, and I love to be.
I'm Peter. I'm also a psych major and I like writing. English Raphael, supposed to be.
What's the backward for you?
My name's Jamie, I'm a psych major, and I'm coming up proud with any favorite thing. So right now, I guess I'm going to say my favorite thing to do right now is kind of food and kind of.
My name is Emma. I'm a theater major.
Oh,
My name is Psych major. They're the sushi. We'll see. My name is Anna. I'm a second major.
Thanks for joining the business meeting.
My name is Laura. I'm a biotechnology major. My name is Allison.
I'm Gabe. I'm a theater major. I haven't had a Nice, Debbie. I'm a business major and I did street tacos.
I'm getting hungry then.
I'm just started. And another food,
Oh, we got two streams.
my name is Malia. Major.
Okay.
I'm Bethel. I'm a currently a psychology major, and I love learning languages and music. So my name is Andy. I'm a psych major, and I'm Margaret. I'm taking this class as my first program.
Okay.
I already have my undergrad degree in city development studies, which is not development science, it's like international development.
Okay.
And something interesting is I have 3 cats coming up.
Okay. Love it.
My name's Blanca and I'm a psych major, and sometimes when I'm feeling up for it, I do special effects and things.
Oh, fun. Okay.
My name is Olivia. I'm a psych major and I'm training to be an alcoholic drug counselor.
Great. Great.
My name is Molina, and I'm a psych major. I'm going to university next year, and I like to play video games and binge watch.
Right. Okay.
My name's Ian. My major is currently undecided, but I'm really interested in psychology,
Mhm.
and I really enjoy background.
Right on.
My name's Ella. I'm a criminology major, and my favorite thing is the
Is what?
the beach.
The beach, okay.
My name's Albert.
Go right here. No.
I'm Saoirse. I'm a English major.
All right.
My name is Mia. I'm a culinary science major, and this is
All right.
My name is Jennifer. I'm a psych major. And depending what beach you're at, maybe one of my kids was one of the kids that pulled you out of the water.
I know you all said you like to go to the beach. I'm like, I used to like a week ago, right? I've boogie boarded and like surfed my whole life. And I'm like, now I'm like, oh, to put my head down. Right? Thank you. I know I didn't give you a choice, but thank you for sharing. I really hope I get to know your names. I'm awful with names, so bear with me. But I will smile at you. Like I'll recognize your face and smile at you. You can do the same if you see me out and about in the world buying like a cake at the grocery store or whatever. But it happens a lot. But I hope I get to know all of you. And on top of that, I really hope you share, right? So you did it once, you can do it again. I would love to hear your voices. And it's nice to hear a little bit about you. I'm going to give you one more opportunity to kind of get to know each other just a little bit. I told you we are going to compete for candy. I was very close on my 9 o'clock timing, right? So what we're going to do, or I'll come back to that. We're going to do a little bingo game. And this is all about you, right? So you know a little bit about me. This one's all about you. So I'm going to hand these out. You're going to fill out line number 1 on every box. Okay, so just line number 1. If you're a Gemini like me and you're torn between 2 things, you can write them both. That's fine. If you don't know, you can write that as well. But it is all about you, so hopefully you know. Okay, so just take a few minutes, just line number 1 for every single box. Could have been worse. If I had to do this last week, I couldn't do that. So I'm so grateful I can at least like hobble to this. Everyone get one? Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes. Just line number 1 of all of them. Nobody got the human sexuality bingo on accident, right? Like last semester, I had one copy randomly in there, and somebody came up to me. They're like, "Why am I writing slang for penis on here?" Wrong class, wrong class. That's my next class. Check. Be a couple more minutes. A lot of you look close. We'll take another minute or so and then I'll tell you what we're doing next. All right, most of you look done. If you're still finishing, keep her, that's totally fine. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do from here. You're going to get up in a moment. Let me finish explaining, then I'll have you get up. And you're gonna try and find people who wrote the same thing as you. So line number 2 is for their name. Okay, so when you go up to someone, you can exchange papers if you would like. They have anything in common with you, write their name or have them write their name on line number 2, and then you've captured that square. When you get 5 across, down, or diagonal, and I give you a free space in the middle, you have bingo. If you want to yell it out, you can if you're feeling excited, or you can just come tell me. I have a whole bag of candy. My children were like trying to steal this from me this morning, but I made it here okay. So I have a whole bunch of candy. We'll go till we get about 10 of them, and then we'll move on. But this should maybe give you a chance to interact with each other just a tiny bit. One more rule, you can only get one thing from each person. Okay, so we'll start with that. If we struggle to get 10 bingos, I'll open it up a little more. But one thing, so if you have everything in common, you can become best friends. You can only pick one thing, okay? So when you're ready, you can go ahead and get up. If you have bingo, come let me know and we'll stop when we get, somewhere around 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we just go around.
Okay, I was like, to the right. Here you go. Oh, I've already done this. You need one. And feel free to walk. Yeah, right. Your name on the top, I guess. That's gonna be nice. Oh, wait, thanks. Do you ever? I speak. Write your name on top. That you. Oh, is your name on top? I believe on it. Here.
If it's close, it's totally fine.
This is my third.
I see.
That's you, right? You're doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, yeah. I say one. No, that, I think.
Well, I didn't buy anyone.
Yeah. Sure. I tried it. No. I really am. In person, I was like, is that.
I know I did. I know. Okay, well, that's the essentially the same thing. I said so. Yeah.
What else you got? Yeah, I'm not gonna help you guys. And then, all the ones we had. Favorite subject.
All right. Bingo. Excellent. Okay, grab a piece of candy and then want to keep playing your hand or you can be done. It's totally okay. Bingo. Yeah, of course. Bingo. Excellent. Go for a couple more minutes. We have 40 Excellent. Look, they're coming fast. There you go. I think I'll help you something. Really? There's two, which is so funny. Was it Heidi? I'll have to tell this. Perfect. Okay. Grab a finger. Plane or you can put on your back up. All right, like one more minute and then we'll move on.
I just recently got it. My sister works at. I guess.
I don't have it. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
No avail.
Bingo. Perfect. All right, if you have bingo, come on up. Otherwise, go ahead and take a seat. 9 bingos, not bad. Perfect. Snickers are my favorite. All right, go ahead and take a seat. Unless you have bingo, then come on up. All right. Perfect. All right. Not too bad. We got 9 of them. That's not too bad. A lot of in and outs on that top right corner. If you're really sad you didn't get candy, I always have candy in my office. You have to at least say hi. But if you come in and say hi, you can have some candy, right? But we'll have a couple of opportunities to compete for candy. Just the first of a few. So I want to talk about a couple more things, and then we'll take attendance here. Bingo. Go ahead. Hope so. Right? That's important. I get it. I've already had 2 of those Snickers this morning, if we're being honest, right? So
Thank you.
this is our course website on Canvas. I just wanted to show it to you really quickly in case you haven't been on there. We will definitely use Canvas. Okay, so I teach a lot of online classes, so I tend to use a fair amount of technology. So on Canvas, if you haven't been on here, you'll see all of our course documents, some contact information, and help and campus resources. And then there's some links on the side. Your view looks a tad bit different from mine. You don't have all these like extra things. So here's what it will look like on your end. So big thing on here, announcements, right? If I ever need to cancel a class, I have 3 kids. I have a medical issue, right? If I ever need to cancel a class, I will let you know as soon as I know, and it'll go out by announcement. So really important to have your notifications set up on Canvas, so you get that email or text or whatever, so you don't come or wake up early for no reason. So announcements will go out on here. Also sometimes reminders as we get close to assignments and so on. If you click on modules, you'll find some information, the syllabus, the textbook, When we get to the paper that you're writing, I have some sample papers and instructions. I have study guides for exams on here. There's a bunch of like help and campus resource stuff. So if you're like, I have no idea how to set my notifications, I have that right here. You can follow those steps. I'll talk about this one in a minute. How to find your grades. I post all of the PowerPoint slides that we'll be using in class. We'll go over that a little bit more on Wednesday, but I'll be lecturing with PowerPoint. The slides will be on here, so you have those if you would like it. And then I will also be posting recordings of our class lectures on here as well. So if you miss a class, that's where you can find it. And if we ever have like a guest speaker or a video that I show, I'll post it down here as well. So all that stuff will be on here for you. Your grades are on here. And then also our exams are on here. So definitely a good idea to have like familiarity with Canvas if you don't already kind of explore it a little bit. On that note, let me go back to this here. There is obviously a Canvas app, right? So not a bad idea to have it on your phone. That way, if you do have it set up to get a text, it'll just text you automatically, which is really convenient. So I would recommend, and you're welcome to do this now with our horrible Wi-Fi that we have in this building. It's shamefully bad. It's frustrating. My kids have better Wi-Fi at their elementary school, though now they're in middle school. I have to get used to that in my mind. But Canvas, download that app if you can or want to. I would also really recommend Kahoot. We're going to use Kahoot next class. And we'll use it once or twice to kind of like vote on people or like take a poll. And so not a bad idea to have it. You can delete it when we're done if you don't want it. But 2 apps I would definitely recommend if you have the ability and desire to download them. You might consider finding me. This is more for like my online classes, but I do post a lot of videos on YouTube. And if we ever, I don't even want to say it, if we ever have to go virtual for some reason, right, which I really hope is never the case, I will kind of interact with you via Twitch. So I wouldn't worry about the Twitch one for now, but you could find me on YouTube. I do post some of our videos on there, which might make it easier to access and watch from anywhere. And then, as I mentioned, don't forget to set those notifications on Canvas, and I'll send out announcements to you that way if I ever have anything to communicate. I think 2 more things before we kind of wrap up for the day. I want to tell you a little bit about how I teach this class, just so you kind of know what to expect. Typically what we'll do each day is I'll have PowerPoint slides and I'll lecture on them, right? And we'll talk about note-taking next class. I'm a big fan of pop culture videos. There are so many videos and movies and shows related to this class, right? Tons. And as a side note, if you ever see a clip and like you're like, oh my God, that reminded me of what we talked about, send it to me or let me know, right? You're way more connected to pop culture unless it has to do with like Auto and Demon Slayers or whatever, K-pop Demon Slayers. I might know more than you on those 2 things, right? Because my kids are obsessed. But if you ever see a cool clip, send it to me or let me know. And if I have time, I'll share it. But typically I'll lecture to those and we'll intermix it with videos and little activities and worksheets. Let's see, what else do I want to say? I tend to be very laid back. I know I don't give off that vibe initially, but I'm a very laid back person. I teach with a lot of humor. I tend to say what's on my mind, which sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. I might talk about food too much. I apologize. But I do have really high expectations. I want to put that out there just to be honest. I hope that you're here. I hope that you put in a lot of effort, but I will always set you up to succeed. You'll have study guides for every exam. I will never trick you. I want you all to do well. If you all got A's, I'd be thrilled. So that's just kind of my personal philosophy. I won't cover everything, so the textbook is important. So please try and get that copy of the book so that you can be reading along and fill in those gaps. In a beautiful, ideal world, you read the chapter before we cover it. Okay. And I would like the perfect academic world, right? But if you could at least kind of glance through it or read it as we're going, I think that would work just as well. And again, if you ever miss a class, communicate with me, right? If you talk to me, I'll work with you. I'm very happy to work with you on whatever comes up. Just make sure you're communicating with me because I won't know otherwise. Okay. Other than that, I have one assignment for you and then I will take attendance and you're welcome to kind of start on this while I'm talking about it. I'm just going to hand this out. If you can each grab one of them, I'll save you one of them. Just grab one index card and then go there and pass them around. So this is going to be due next class. And this is your first of those 10-point activities. It's really low stakes. But you're welcome to write these things down now as we're talking. That's totally fun. what I want from you is your name. And if you prefer to go by something other than your name on the roster, write it on there. You're gonna give me a photograph of yourself. Okay, if there's more than one person in it, just like give me an arrow to who you are or circle you. Ideally, it's relatively recent. Baby pictures are super cute, but it probably won't help me. So ideally something kind of recent. It can be black and white, it can be color, but try and get a picture. You can staple it on there, you can tape it on there, you can format it however you want, right? But I gave you kind of a sample. Oftentimes people too will put the picture on the back and then write everything on the front, right? Totally up to you how you want to format it. If you find me on YouTube or Twitch, you could include that. If you don't worry about that one. Something interesting about yourself. Tell me a little bit about you. Just a couple of like random little things that you love or are interesting. And then why are you taking the class? And be honest, right? You need the units, you're interested, whatever it might be, why are you taking the class? So this will be due next class. This is those first 10 points. So start off strong. You want to make sure you get those. If you can't get a picture, you'll lose a couple of points, but you can still turn in the card and get like the majority of the points. So try and get a picture. That would help me. I use these to try and learn your names. Okay, so I learned about myself. I didn't know this until 2 years ago. I have aphantasia. I don't know if any of you have heard of that before, but I can't picture people in my mind. And so when I have an image of you, I can picture the image. It's really strange. Psychology is so fascinating, right? Our brains are wild that way. So this will help me to learn your names a little bit. And I'll leave this up. Again, you're welcome to write those things as we go. Or if you're on Canvas, if you forget what needs to be on here, remember that under modules, here are the slides from today. Okay. So if you forget later, you can always find it here as well. All right. Any questions about anything? Syllabus, the book, reminders, the assignment, anything at all? Yeah. Then you can skip that one. Totally fine. Hopefully it never matters for us. If we ever have to go virtual, I don't even like to say that. It like makes me feel like flashbacks to 2020, right? But if we ever needed to, those would be the platforms I would use. You could just skip that one if you don't have them. It's totally fine. Okay. Anything else for now? Try and get those books. Don't forget about the assignment. Let me take attendance and then we'll call it a day. Let me go through this. And okay, so my first name is Elisa. So as you can imagine, I have like had a million bad first days of people messing up my name. Everything from like, I get a lot of Elsa now, everything's frozen. Or Elijah, if they think I'm male, you know, it's just all over the board, right? Alicia, I don't know where they get Alicia, but if I mess up your name, please correct me. I will hold on it. And if you prefer to go by something else, let me know and I'll change it when I can come up. Okay? And then I'll take attendance this week and next week, and then I'll just either shoot go after that. I don't want to waste our valuable time. So we'll just do that. Okay, here we go. There aren't too many of you. I'll go through this and then we'll call it a day. Jennifer?
Yes.
Shatsiri?
Here.
Addison?
Here.
Becca? Abed?
Here.
Mia?
Here.
Anna? Gabriel?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
Heidi? Laura?
Here.
Rowan?
Here.
Margaret?
Here.
Emma? Malia?
Here.
Peter?
Here.
Ian?
Here.
Danny?
Here.
Olivia?
Here.
Ella?
Here.
Wonka?
Here.
Jeannie?
Here.
Troy? Andrea?
Here.
Oh, you said it. Was it Saoirse?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, I was trying to remember. Okay. I actually